Okay, students, in this class, in this session, we will be talking about a very small topic on idioms and phrases. See, the small topics that are given to you, either the phrasal verbs, the idioms and phrases, and the error identification, your textbook is planned in such a way that they help you to improvise on your vocabulary, improvise on your grammar, and gradually express yourself with better flowery language, with better language. So this one also here, for your examination, you have something called the expressions, and these the question comes only for 2 marks, but still we'll have to learn it. Even a single mark cannot be opted out. You can't just lose, just like Marcus Uibe, who was not ready to lose out the single vote. You can't lose even a single mark. So here we'll have to talk about the idioms and phrases which are used as decorative languages. So this decorative language is also for your examination. Let me be very clear when I'm talking about this. We have this idioms and phrases, and in another session we'll be talking about phrasal verbs. These two combined together will be useful for you to answer the questions on expressions. So in your question paper you have an exercise, you have a question on expressions, and this question will be based on idioms and phrases and also on the phrasal verbs that you will be learning. So this is one question on expressions. Let us quickly talk about what are idioms and phrases. Phrases are sentences, are parts of sentences that do not have complete meaning in them. Idiom and phrases are those words, the part of sentence which have a meaning but not a complete meaning in them. So that is what is an idiom and a phrase. Idiom and phrase is one term. So these are very expressive, and these are expressions peculiar to a particular language. In every language we have the proverbs, we have these expressions, we have the kind of words that add up lot of glamour and decoration for the language. They are expressions, they are very peculiar to a language. The usage of idioms and phrases make your sentence more attractive, and they're very beneficial. Like you have to tell something, if you use these words, your language and the style of talking will be more effective. And these idioms and phrases, they not only emphasize on whatever you are speaking, but they also impress the listener and the reader. Whenever you are writing or when you are talking, you use this, your words, your language, it will become more and more expressive. The reader or the listener, they just fall to you and they can easily understand that you are a learned person. So, few examples I have written here. For example, the first one, feeling like a fish out of water. We've seen a fish taken out of water, and how it really it wants to get back to water. It feels very uncomfortable. It cannot stay out of water for a long time. It just it suffers a lot. That suffering, the way it just withers itself and tries to move back to water, that is seen. So whenever a person is seen feeling very uncomfortable in a company, very uncomfortable in a situation, then we say that the person was feeling like a fish out of water. So feeling like fish out of water means feeling very uncomfortable. That is the meaning that is given. So whenever you want to say this, feeling uncomfortable or not feeling like getting along with the people there, then you say that you feel like a fish out of water. Then the second one, on cloud 9. See, nobody can literally climb on a cloud. So it only says that you are on the top level. So when will you be on the top? When you have achieved something and you are very happy about it. So when I say a person is on cloud 9, I definitely say that the person is very happy about his achievement, about something that he has heard. So maybe because of his own achievement or maybe because of any good news that he has got, he is on cloud 9. Next, to be in full swing. For example, in the month of June, July, your college, the classes will be on in full swing. That means to be going on rigorously with lot of activities and all those things. So it will be in full swing. And to look forward to, after examination, all of us look forward to a beautiful vacation. So that is to await eagerly. So we eagerly wait for and something, that means we are looking forward to something. So for example, when you are well prepared for your examination, you look forward to see your question papers. You're very excited about it. And if you are not, on the other hand, if you are not very well studied, very well prepared for it, you are anxious about your paper. So there is a lot of difference between excitement and anxiety. Probably we'll speak about it in any of the other classes. Excitement and anxiety are two different words. Talking about these idioms and phrases and using them in your paper as expressions, they talk about, this will be a very simple 2-sentence kind of exercise with 3 options to you, and you'll have to choose the best one. For example, this one, the ministers decided to tell the criminal dash to run away. They did so, but the criminal said that if he ran away, people would dash on him. So there are 2 lines, 2 blanks and 3 options. Okay, so you'll have to choose which one is more appropriate. One thing I would like to tell you here is, remember, in your grammar, apart from few things like the letter writing and all those things, most of the phrases, the expressions here, the linkers and the subject and verb agreement and all these things, usually they are taken from your text course book itself. They are from your textbook itself, so you need not have to bother too much. It will be taken straight away from the text, like how you can see here. The ministers, this is from a lesson 2 dear. Okay, the ministers decided to tell the criminal. What could be the answer? Criminal to be hanged, to run away. Would that be a correct option? Or criminal straight out on the face. So it's not like giving clue and something like that, but on the face they directly tell him that you please go. We are not able to bear the expenses of keeping you in our country. Just go away. So what could be the better one? This one is definitely not. Okay, not a correct option, not a right option at all. Out of these 2, we will have to decide which one could be the better option. Okay, the ministers, they decide to tell the criminal straight out. So that would be the correct answer here. Ministers decided to tell the criminal straight out. Straight out, as I had told you, on the face, tell him directly that they cannot keep him in the country anymore and he had to run away. They did so. They even told it. They even told him. But the criminal said that if he ran away, people would. Now, this option is already done. We have already neglected this one, and that is not an option. The only thing that is left is to turn their back. People would turn their backs on him. Okay, this completes. So remember one more thing, important thing is, whenever the options are given here, they are given in simple present tense. Depending on the tense of the phrase here, tense of the questions here, tense of the sentences here, you will have to change them into either the continuous tense or the perfect tense or the past tense. So that becomes slightly interesting and a very intelligent job to correct the answer, to choose the correct answer and put it in the right tense. Okay, this one has to be carefully done. So the same thing applies when you are doing the phrasal verbs also. When we move on to the phrasal verbs, we will be deciding about how to change, how to change from one tense to another, and then we will be working out on another exercise there. So this was about idioms and phrases and the question related to idioms and phrases, that is on expressions. Hope this was understood to you. It's a very simple one, only for 2 marks, but still it is very important and very vital in your question paper. Okay, see you friends, see you back again in another session of learning grammar.
Hello friends, as I told you, I think it was a great experience going through the job application and idioms. Hopefully it was really fruitful for you. As I think as madam has told you, see what is your easy area where you can write comfortably and attempt that job application ka format, and see to it that you will get full 5 marks. And I think enough and more hint ಅಥವಾ ಎಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಈಗ, so that you are able to crack that full 5 marks and you're going to pocket it. As I told in the beginning also, idioms ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಅರ್ಧ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಧ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ, ಹೋದರೆ ಒಂದು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆರ್ ಯು ಗೋನ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಫುಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಔಟ್ ದೇ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ idioms ಬೆಟರ್ ದೆನ್ ಲೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೇನಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇದು ಹೋದರೆ ಹೋಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಬಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ, ಬಂದರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಲ್ಲ, 2+ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ರಿಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಜಾಬ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಗೆ ಸಿನ್ಸಿಯರಾಗಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ 1 ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಗಿವ್, ಸಿಟ್ ಎಟ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೈಟ್ ಬೈ ಟುಡೇ. ಇವತ್ತು ರಾತ್ರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಆದರೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಜಾಬ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಿ ದಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಫರ್ಟೇಬಲ್. ಇವತ್ತು ಕೊಟ್ಟದು ರೀಕ್ಯಾಪಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಥಾಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಬ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ನ ಕಂಟೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಇತ್ತು ಅದು ನೀವು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಅಂತ ಫೀಲ್ ಆದರೆ ದೆನ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಲೀಪ್. ಯು ಗೋನ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಸೊ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ಯು, ಹೋಪಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ವೆಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ coming sessions also. We are closing it for the day. Thank you very much.